The quest for the Firefly Lantern in the quiet village of Misty Hollow. The night was always filled with the soft glow of fireflies. Children would run through the fields, catching the twinkling lights in jars, and the sky would sparkle as if filled with tiny stars. But every year, there was one night more special than any other, the night of the Firefly Lantern. On this night, it was said that the brightest and most magical fireflies gathered deep in the forest, lighting up the ancient Firefly Lantern, a glowing treasure that could grant a single wish to the one who found it. Tia, a bright and adventurous girl with curly hair and a love for the stars, had always dreamed of finding the Firefly Lantern. Her grandmother used to tell her stories about it, and ever since, Tia had wanted to be the one to make the journey deep into the enchanted woods to see if the legend was true. On the evening of the night of the Firefly Lantern, Tia packed her backpack with her flashlight, a blanket, and a small jar to catch fireflies. Her best friend, an energetic dog named Coco, bounded along beside her as she set off toward the edge of the forest. "This is it, Coco," Tia said, smiling at the trail ahead. "Tonight, we're going to find the Firefly Lantern." Into the enchanted forest. The forest was thick with tall trees, their branches stretching high above, creating a canopy that let only slivers of moonlight through. But as Tia and Coco walked deeper into the woods, they began to see flickers of light. The fireflies were starting to wake. Coco barked excitedly, chasing after the glowing lights that flitted through the air. Tia laughed, running with him through the trees. The fireflies seemed to be leading them somewhere, lighting up the path in soft, glowing patterns. After a while, Tia noticed that the lights were growing brighter, and the air around them felt warmer. She stopped and listened. In the distance, she heard a soft humming sound, like the gentle buzz of wings. "I think we're getting close," Tia whispered to Coco. "The Firefly Lantern must be nearby." The bridge of light. As they followed the fireflies' trail, Tia and Coco came to a sparkling river. The water shimmered with the reflection of the moon, and fireflies danced above it, casting their light across the surface. There was no bridge, but Tia wasn't worried. The fireflies were here to guide her. Just as she thought that, the fireflies began to gather, their glowing bodies forming a bridge of light across the river. It was the most beautiful thing Tia had ever seen, a path made entirely of shimmering fireflies, hovering just above the water. "Come on, Coco," Tia said, stepping carefully onto the glowing bridge. Coco followed closely behind, wagging his tail as they crossed the river. The fireflies buzzed softly around them, creating a magical hum that filled the air. On the other side of the river, the forest seemed to glow even brighter, and Tia's excitement grew. The Firefly Guardian. After crossing the bridge, Tia and Coco arrived at a large clearing surrounded by trees that shimmered with light. In the center of the clearing stood a stone pedestal, and on top of it was a glowing lantern, its light pulsing like a heartbeat. This was it, the Firefly Lantern. But before Tia could approach, a figure stepped out from behind the trees. It was a tall, graceful woman with long, flowing hair that sparkled like stardust. She wore a cloak made of glowing firefly wings, and her eyes shone with the same light as the lantern. "Welcome, Tia," the woman said, her voice soft and kind. "I am the guardian of the Firefly Lantern." Tia's eyes widened in surprise. "You know my name?" The guardian smiled. "Of course. The fireflies have been watching over you since you were little. You have a pure heart, full of adventure and kindness." Tia stepped closer, her eyes fixed on the glowing lantern. "I've come to see the Firefly Lantern. Is it true that it can grant a wish?" The guardian nodded. "Yes, but the wish must be made with a heart full of kindness and love. The lantern's magic is ancient, and it only grants wishes that come from a place of goodness." Tia thought for a moment. There were so many things she could wish for, but her grandmother's stories filled her heart. She knew exactly what she wanted to wish for. "I wish for everyone in Misty Hollow to always be able to see the fireflies, to feel the magic of the forest, and to have a peaceful heart," Tia said, her voice soft but sure. The guardian's eyes sparkled with pride. "That is a beautiful wish, Tia. The Firefly Lantern will grant it." The wish granted, Tia stepped up to the pedestal and placed her hands on the glowing lantern. As soon as she touched it, the lantern's light grew brighter, filling the entire clearing with a warm, golden glow. The fireflies buzzed around her, their light twinkling like stars, and Tia felt a sense of peace wash over her. When the light finally faded, Tia knew her wish had been granted. The fireflies would always be there to light up the night, bringing magic and peace to her village. The guardian smiled warmly. "You have brought new life to the Firefly Lantern, Tia. The forest will always welcome you, and the fireflies will forever be your friends." Tia thanked the guardian and looked up at the sky, where the fireflies now danced in even greater numbers, their glow brighter than ever before. As she and Coco made their way back home, Tia felt a deep sense of happiness. She had gone on an incredible adventure, found the legendary Firefly Lantern, and made a wish that would bring magic and joy to her village for years to come. And from that night on, whenever the fireflies lit up the forest, the villagers knew that Tia's wish had made the world a little brighter.